Happy Thursday evening, everyone. Welcome back to the magnificent Mags channel and that sunset. It's beautiful, isn't it? Along with my friends at Magpie 24/7 and Magpie Ultras. Thanks for joining us. Just in the surroundings of Ponteland. So I'm getting this video in before the sun goes down, but I thought I'd have a change of scenery today and do this from somewhere else. I thought I'd come up here and do my post-match reaction to last night's sensational and dominant 2-0 win against Arsenal at St James's Park. Now, all I have to say first is wow. Wow, wow, wow. 4-0 on aggregate against a team like Arsenal. I've said they are quality. Doesn't matter how much Arteta or they annoy us. It's just getting four goals against them without reply. And Arsenal have only lost 4 games all season. 3 of them have been to us and we haven't conceded. It's just, honestly, we've got their number at the moment, and there was a call to arms by me, by everyone, by Bruno. The captain spoke, asked for everyone to make it a raucous atmosphere, to stand up, be counted, and my words, did we do that? Wow, that was just deafening. Deafening. Could hardly hear yourself think at times, but it was just brilliant to be a part of it. That display at the start, get into them. Well, we're not half done that. But going back to pre-match, when the team news come through and we saw we're playing 5 at the back, we thought it might have been a 5-4-1. Bruno did say post-match it might have been, but it was fluid, but it was more of a 5-2-3. And it worked, didn't it? It absolutely worked. We were all a bit pessimistic pre-match, and we're like, oh, why is he doing that? Inviting a team like Arsenal with all their attacking quality onto us. They could easily get a goal back and make it nervy, and that's what everyone was fearing. An early goal for them could have made it an anxious night. Every chance could have had us thinking, oh, if they get another, then it's 2-2, and then the tie's really turned on its head. But how wrong we were. And why we're wrong? Because we're the supporters, and Eddie Howe's the professional football manager. And wow, did he do a job on Arsenal and Arteta. The 5 at the back, we thought, who's he bringing in? With Joel Linton, he wasn't even in the squad, but it was great to see him in the stands, wasn't it? Like a fan, tune scarf, twirling it around, singing the songs. He's absolutely brilliant. Gotta love the guy for that. But just, yeah, going with that formation, we thought, will we bring in Willock? Could be Miley, could be Longstaff in there. No, he threw a massive curveball and he brought in Sven Botman, and what a master stroke it was. It was an Eddie Howe masterclass. Really was. The fact that he brought in Botman, and Botman just stayed at that back. He was calm, he was imperious, he was imposing, and he was just his possession, used the ball so well. He was shepherding their attackers out, like Martinelli, Havertz and Trossard. Just so calm, never panicked, and having it there at the back was just brilliant. Such a commanding presence. See Fabian Schär and Dan Burn, and Eddie Howe said it was deliberate having 3 centre-backs in there, mainly because of Arsenal being very good at set pieces, the best set piece team in the league. Well, we've obviously joked afterwards, they haven't scored a set piece against us or any goal this season. So we negated that, didn't we, with them 3. We had the aerial height and presence and dominance in there. But then what was even more impressive, though, to combat Arsenal was the fact that 3 defenders in there, but Dan Burn and Fabian Schär were stepping out at will. You could even say Lewis Hall at times. They were just interchanging. So if Hall would go, then Burn would drop in at left back and you'd have Botman with Schär and Trippier. And then if Hall stayed back, Burn would go out and press, maybe drop into midfield to make it a 3. Not all the time. Burn didn't do it as much as the others, but he would push out, and then you'd have Lewis Hall in there. But then the main one was Fabian Schär playing an absolutely mental midfield role. But you know what? Out of any player on the squad, you've probably got to say Fabian Schär is the only defender who I know currently I can think of who's got that attacking presence. Now, I know he used to be a striker, so that's why he's decent at finishing. But to do his role that he did, and it was purposeful to track Declan Rice. But Eddie identified that Arteta likes to have Arsenal playing out from the back, with Raya playing it short to Rice. Rice would drop deep for it, and then he'd play it to the full-backs to try and start an attack. And my God, did that tactic work to a plumb, especially for that second goal. But I won't go onto it yet. Now, Kieran Trippier come back in, and people saying, who's at the right call? Tino Livramento might have the legs up against someone like Martinelli. But you know what? It was absolutely the bang-on right call from Eddie Howe. Trippier was fantastic. And yeah, the window's still open till next week for Galatasaray, the Turkish window. But you wouldn't be selling it on this evidence. That performance last night. Well, I've said it, like with Trippier and Willock, they're players who need to be in from the start to get minutes in the legs. But you wouldn't think he hadn't been out the team for a while. He was fantastic. Just his experience, his know-how, his leadership. He was always talking to his teammates, telling them where to be, when to press, when to drop off. And that's just something I feel at times you can't teach. His timing, like he's small, but when he goes up against anyone, the amount of headers he wins against his opposition, it's just unbelievable. And what's the best part of it? As someone tweeted, Kieran Trippier was an absolute shithouse last night. Just little things that he was doing just to get into Arsenal players' heads and just wind them up. Oh, he was fantastic, and it's just great seeing that mean streak back from Newcastle. Bruno, captain's performance on that side of the pitch that he was doing his keepy-ups. Even we seen it from the corner, and we were laughing, thinking it's a bit too early to showboat. Jacob Murphy and Anthony Gordon. My opinion, Anthony Gordon was man of the match. He was fantastic. He ran them ragged. And Arsenal, he loves playing Arsenal, and Arsenal hate playing him. But you can say that again with Saliba and Gabriel. They hate playing Isak, but Gordon destroyed them last night. He loves playing against them. He always seems to score against them. That's obviously, he got the winner last season. He got the assist for Isak back in November for that cross and header when he was on the right. And he got the goal at the Emirates, didn't he? The second goal from Isak saved shot. And then he got the second goal last night thanks to Shares pressing on Rice. But he was brilliant. Jacob Murphy as well. I mean, just to get another goal. Well, I was looking it up. What's it? So Isak, all competitions. It's 19 goals, 5 assists. And then I think it's 9 goals, 6 assists for Gordon, and 5 goals and 8 assists for Murphy. But them three are just an attacking triumvirate up there. They're linking up so well. They're dovetailing so well. And I've got to give credit to Jacob Murphy. Again, in his defensive play, when he was pressing like Gordon, they were pinning their fullbacks back so they couldn't get forward as much. And then when he was going forward, he was getting the crosses in, he was getting shots in, and obviously he took his goal really well. To get that from when Isak hit the crossbar and post where they meet, and to come out at that angle, we thought it was a difficult angle from where we were in the ground, but seeing it back, it just shows you it was an excellent finish, and that's credit to him. Another player that Eddie Howe's improved, his form, his confidence is through the roof. Old Jacob Murphy wouldn't have scored that, but current Jacob Murphy, it can do anything. And got to give credit to my mate Craig. I posted after the game last night, but we did come up with a new chant. Obviously, we've been singing David Bowie. There's a star man playing on the right. His name's Jacob Murphy, and he's fucking dynamite. But we came up with another one. It was recycled off the Lascelles chant. Tuchel's got his number. He's going to Arizona. Jacob Murphy. See if that catches on. We'll try it on Saturday at Birmingham. See if anyone picks it up if he plays. Alexander Isak. Now, everyone goes on about these vaunted centre-backs. I'm not saying they're bad, they're good. But Van Dijk's one they've talked about. This aura about him. Best centre-back partnership in the leagues. Apparently Gabriel and Saliba. Well, especially last night. Saliba, he got ran ragged. Both of them did. They hate playing Alexander Isak. Alexander Isak creates chances out of nothing. He could just be pick it up, dropping deep, or pick it on the turn, and they think he can go nowhere. And then he just finds that space to run into. And then the backpedal and the panic. And my God, if that first goal had been given, that was just classic Alexander Isak. Remember his debut? Speaking of a Liverpool player, his debut at Anfield, when he done them finishes, obviously the second one was disallowed in controversial circumstances, but that night he was similar, where he just hit it into the roof of net across Raya. So that was unbelievable finish, and it's just a shame. It looked marginal. I can see why it was disallowed. It's disappointing. Would have been great, but regardless of his goal not being given, he terrorised them last night. So yeah, you've just got to sing the praises throughout the team. But the goals, yeah, fantastic again. Anthony Gordon just linking up so well with Alexander Isak. Obviously Jacob Murphy was involved too. but to set him away for the one that was disallowed was brilliant. And then he got through again, used his left foot, hit the angle of bar and post, came out, Murphy tucked it away, and you just knew then, even though it was only 1-0, I say only 1-0, but it was 3-0 in aggregate, you could just see really confidence drain out of Arsenal. Now obviously they did have chances. There was the one where Odegaard hit the post. Partey, who quite rightly got booed all night, that was fantastic. That he played it through, kind of knocked off, it was a flick, sorry, off Trossard, and then Martinelli looked like he might have got fouled, and Fabian Schär had just done enough to put Odegaard off, and it hit the post. And then there was a chance that came through to Trossard that Martin Dubravka saved. Other than that, Arsenal really were just trying with set pieces like they normally do, and nothing came off because we had them 3 centre-backs in there, and they headed away everything, they blocked everything. Honestly, it was fantastic to watch. And then you go on to the second goal. Eddie Howe's instructions, as I said, I'll come back to it to describe it, a masterclass. Just Fabian Schär, tracking Rice all game. Bruno's instructions were obviously to sit on Partey, but Shaw was playing on Rice, sitting on him all game, and he didn't give him an inch to breathe. And yeah, just pressed him, came to Gordon, and Gordon put it away. Game over, twirled the scarf, fantastic. And I've just got to say as well, the crowd, must be the ball, Mikel Arteta, it must be the ball. So yeah, Arsenal fans, as always, are in meltdown today. Fantastic to see. And they keep going, oh, you still haven't won a trophy. Look, we're in a cup final. That's 2 competitions they're out now, because obviously Man U knocked them out in the FA Cup on pens. So yeah, we'll just move on. Newcastle United are back in a second League Cup final in the space of 2 years, the second in 3 seasons. So we're booked a place, and we can put our feet up tonight and see what happens at Anfield between Liverpool and Spurs. Now, a lot of fans are saying, well, want Spurs. I think everyone's backing Spurs. We all want Spurs, obviously, because we think we'll have a better chance, and it'll be probably better in terms of when we're down there. They're already in London, so they won't be out the night before. And Craig Hopes came out today and shared the news. For some bizarre reason, Trafalgar Square next month is going to be cordoned off and closed on Cup Final weekend for St. Paddy's Day celebration setups. I mean, it's England, and understand respecting another country's national holiday, but it is a bit strange that that's going to happen. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll find somewhere else to go. Again, applaud the atmosphere. Every single fan turned up last night and made that a memorable night. That was on par with PSG, I have to say that. And the irony, we saw some Arsenal fans in Pop World after, and they were making so much noise, maybe 8, 9 dozen of them, to be honest. I was about 12 pints deep. But, gotta just say, they made more noise in there than we heard in that away end. So, yeah. There you go, make of it what you will, but they were quiet. But we heard more of them in Pop World, and we give it all lit. So luckily I do have a bit pace still, and I had to run around to the box office, get my ticket printed out. Luckily I remember my supporter number, and I had my ID. But yeah, that was a bit egg on face, but I got in for about 48, so I got in there for Johnny Blue Hat. Well, I have to say, I'd love that at every home game, playing Local Hero on his saxophone in the middle of the pitch. That was brilliant, and it just added to the atmosphere. That's how stupid I was last night, and I got ripped to the high heavens for it. It's such a high, it's going to carry what all the way at the final. And I shared today ticket news. We'll find out a little bit more about that soon. Obviously, we need tonight's game to conclude. We might hear something next week, but I shared it where it's from the club website that if you're enrolled in the cup scheme, that you'll get priority. So that's good. Just want to say, obviously, my loyalty points. I know it went on loyalty points a couple of years ago, I think, and how many games you'd been to. We didn't have the cup scheme then, but now it's going to be based on if you're in the cup scheme, and then it might go on points or how many games you've been to. So I've been to every game in this competition, home and away, and yeah, and I'm in the cup scheme. So I'm hoping that works in my favour, because all the hotels booked with train or car arrangements. It's probably at least a dozen of we're going down. It's going to be mental, but I can't wait for it. But yeah, we'll put our feet up, relax, and see how tonight goes. But I'm going to wrap this video up now. So yeah, just again, brilliant night, brilliant atmosphere. Anthony Gordon, man of the match, but every single player, everyone who came on as well. Great to see Callum Wilson back. Isaac's now got his partner back, so he can be there if we need him, if we need to rotate Isaac, which might likely happen this weekend. I think that's why Howe kept his subs on a little bit later, because he's going to rotate at Birmingham. I know the top of League One will be a tough game, but yeah, yeah, that's probably the reason. Had a few players on. Good to see Willock on against his old Kraft came on too. And I've just got to finally sum up and just say Eddie Howe, again, he's an elite manager. And then he saved us from almost, which would have been oblivion after takeover if we'd been relegated. 19th or 20th. We're comfortably mid-table. He's then got win the Champions League, then 7th, only missing out in Europe because Man U actually turned up in a cup final against City with half a squad. And now, with no signings and 3 windows, he's got us in yet another cup final. So you've got to praise the man. He's improved so many players. Murphy, Joe Linton, improved Lewis Hall, got him in England international a year and a half. It's just, honestly, he's fantastic. Dan Burn as well, another colossus. Yeah, anyway, that's it from me for now. Thank you all for watching. Please continue to like, comment, share and subscribe. Also do that for my friends over at Magpie 24/7 and Magpie Ultras. Please give their channels a like, follow, share and subscribe. They've got fantastic content. And I will be back on Friday with my preview before we're going to Birmingham City. I will be there, so I'll give my thoughts and I'll get some videos on the day to show what the away trip's like. We're not staying over, we're just driving there and back. But I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully we can make it 2 cup wins in a week and carry on our FA Cup campaign. Because, ironically, after 70 years, Newcastle could make it 2 cup finals, could they? In one season and win both domestic trophies. But anyway, thank you very much for watching again. Take care. Bye-bye for now. See you Friday.